For this project, any category 3 or 4 yarn will work, but I'm using half a skein of Bernat Baby Sport yarn in Peach Blossom. It's a category 3. And as for tools, a 5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. We're using 5 stitches for this project, and they will be as followed. Chain, single crochet, double crochet, puff stitch, and a slip stitch. This tutorial is for a size small, but you can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video. So let's get started. To get this top started, we're first going to grab our category 3 yarn, start off by making a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and we're going to start off by making 1 chain. Now that we have our 1 chain, now we're going to go in with our puff stitches. We're not going to have a base chain like how we pretty much always do with our work. We're going to be going in with what we're going to call a puff chain, and that's going to be how we work our way up. So once we have our 1 chain, what we're going to do is pull out a little bit of slack, maybe give yourself about 1 inch. What we're going to do is prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to take our hook, insert it into that 1 chain that we just made. Once we have that, we're going to yarn over, pull through that loop that we just went into, and then we're going to pull some more slack until you can't pull anymore. And then we're going to do this one more time. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that first chain that we made for ourselves, yarn over, pull through. When it's through, we're going to pull up until we can't pull up anymore. And then once we have that, we should have 5 loops on our hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once we have that, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but we're going to prepare for a double crochet. And then this is going to feel really weird, but go ahead and insert your finger into this loop that we made for ourselves in between everything that's on the hook and that yarn over that we just did. We're just going to rest our finger in there, and then we're going to pull through everything that's on the hook. And then once we have that, we are going to insert our hook into that loop that we left for ourselves, the one that we stuck our finger through. And then when it's through there, we should have 2 loops on our hook. And then from here, we're going to yarn over through the first loop, and then yarn over, pull through the last 2. And that is our first puff chain. Okay, I know that was a lot, so we're going to do this together a couple more times just to make sure that you guys have it. So when we're here, we have our first puff, and then this single crochet loop that we did right at the end. And then we're going to do the same exact thing. So we're going to pull up some slack about 1 inch, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to go into that loop that we are directly over. There's going to be this big gap that you guys are going to want to go into, but don't go into there because this is going to pull your work in a different direction. What we're going to do is prepare for a double crochet. Take a look at that single crochet that we just did at the end of our puff stitch in the previous row, or in the previous loop. Insert it into that loop, and then it's going to be the same. We're going to yarn over, pull through, and then we're going to pull up some slack until we can't go anymore. And then once we have that, we're going to do that again. So prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that loop that we just went into, yarn over, pull through, and then pull up some slack. And then we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 loops on our hook. Once we have that, we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to insert our hook in through that loop that we made for our finger into that loop that we made for ourselves. And then we're going to pull through everything that's on the hook. And then from there, we're going to insert our hook in through that loop that we kept for ourselves. We should have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through 2. And then now we have 2 puff chains. Okay, we're going to do this a couple more times, but just a smidge bit quicker just to make sure that you guys have it. So when we have this, we're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that loop that we made for ourselves in the previous puff chain, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, and we're going to do that one more time. So prepare for a double crochet into that loop that we left for ourselves, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack. We should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then from here we're going to prepare for a double crochet or yarn over. We're going to insert our finger into the loop that we just made for ourselves, pull through everything. Once we have that, insert our hook into that gap, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. A couple more times. We're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that loop that we made for ourselves, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert into that same loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger in through that loop, pull through everything on the hook, insert your hook in through that loop that we made for ourselves, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Once we have that, we're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook in through that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some more slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert your hook into that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up, prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger, yarn over, pull through everything on the hook, insert your hook in through that loop that we have our finger through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do this one more time. We're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook in through that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert your hook into that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger, yarn over, pull through everything on the hook, insert your hook into that loop that our finger's in, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. And that is our first few foundation chains, and we're going to keep doing this until this reaches from side boob to side boob, and then I will meet you guys back so that we can do the rest of the stitches. And if you guys still need a little bit of help, go ahead and leave a comment down below so that I can help you guys out. We've just made our way down with our foundation puff chain, and I went from side boob to side boob, and I have a total of 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And now we're ready to start working on the pattern. So for the next little bit that we're going to be doing a turning puff, which is basically the same thing that we just did, but instead of it being horizontal, it's going to be vertical, and that's going to help us work our way up to the next row. So we're going to do the same thing that we just did here one more time. So we're going to pull us some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull some slack, do that one more time, prepare for a double crochet, into that loop, pull through, pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, pull your finger through, pull your hook through everything that's on the hook. Then we're going to insert your hook into that loop that our finger was in, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And then once we have this last puff stitch is going to sit upwards like this. But once we have that, now we're going to do kind of the same thing, but a lot bigger. So to get started on the actual pattern, what we're going to do from here is basically start off the same way. We're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert your hook into that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet into that same loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack. And then from here, now we're going to start working into the foundation chain. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on our hook. And then by the time we're done, we are going to have 13 on our hook. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet. And then since this puff is our turning puff, we're going to go into that same loop that this one's working into. So as you guys can see, we're in this guy, and then we're going to go basically just into the next available loop in between our two puffs. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert it into that gap that we have in between these two puffs, yarn over, pull through, pull up some slack, and we're going to do this one more time. Prepare for a double crochet, insert into that same loop, yarn over, pull up some slack, and then we're going to do this one more time into the next available loop in between the next two puffs. Prepare for a double crochet, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yank all the way up. And do this one more time. Prepare for a double crochet, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank all the way up. And then we're still going to prepare for a double crochet and insert your hook through. This is going to feel even weirder than it did before because there's so many things on the hook, but just kind of find your own grip and then it'll become a lot easier. But like I said, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 on our hook, not counting the yarn over we just did. But since we have our yarn over, since our finger's in the loop, we're going to yarn over, pull through everything. And a quick tip that I have for pulling through everything is turning the hook downwards so that it doesn't get caught on anything when you pull through all this. And then once we have that, we're going to insert our hook into that loop that our finger's in. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is our first kind of star. So let's do this a couple more times together. So once we are here, we have our first kind of puff stars. So as you guys can see, here's 1, 2, 3 parts of it. We're kind of working in halves of it. Well, once we get here, we're going to pull up some slack, prepare for a double crochet, insert into this single crochet gap that we left for ourselves. With 1, yarn over, pull through, pull up 1. Do this again. Prepare for a double crochet, insert, yarn over, pull through, and yank. So we're basically going to be doing 2 yarn overs and go into each loop twice. And this first bit, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to prepare for a double crochet and then go into that next loop that we have. And yes, it's into the same loop that the previous star was in, but that's fine. We're going to go into that same loop. Prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook into that gap, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert into that loop, yarn over, yank up, and then into the next one. Prepare, insert, yarn over, yank upwards one more time. Prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert our hook in through that loop that's right underneath the working yarn. And we're going to turn our hook and then pull through everything that's on the hook. And once we have that, insert our hook into that loop that our finger was in, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And as you guys can see, we have sort of a star and sort of a star. We're working at an angle for the stars, and then once we have our next row, it's going to finish them off. So let's do this just a couple more times together. So once when we're here, we're going to yank up, prepare, insert into that loop, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert into that loop, pull through, yank up. Take a look at our base chain and then into the next loop that we have. Even though the previous star was in that one, we're going to go into that one anyways. So prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And then we have one more gap to go into. So prepare, insert into the next gap, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And then let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then prepare for double crochet, insert your finger, yarn over, pull through everything that's on the hook, insert your hook into that loop that your finger was into, and then yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. Let's do this about 2 more times. We're going to go a little bit quicker. We're going to pull up some slack, prepare, insert into that loop, yarn over, pull through, pull up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull up, and then into this next gap, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull up, and then into the next one, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull up, and then just for good measure, let's count it out a couple more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger, and then yarn over, pull through everything on the hook if you can. Sometimes you can't, like this time, but it's okay. We'll just either figure it out or we'll have to redo it. Okay, so this isn't working, we'll just redo it. Easy peasy, no problem. Let's do this one more time. We're going to yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, into the next gap, yarn over, insert, prepare, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then we're going to prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger, pull through everything on the hook. Hopefully this goes through cleaner. Yes, it does. And then we're going to insert it into that loop that our finger's into. Yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. And let's do this one more time together. Yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert into the next gap, yarn over, pull through, yank up into that same gap, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank up, and then into this next one, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Prepare for a double crochet. Insert your finger into that gap. Pull through everything on the hook. Insert your hook into that loop that our finger was in. Yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. So basically, it is working into 3 of the loops. So we're going into that same loop that we were just in where we did our single crochet once when we were finished doing our work. And then we're going to do another puff into the puff that the previous star was into. As you guys can see here as an example, here is the first bit of our puff. And this is the second puff that we're looking at. And this is the first puff that we did. Our second puff is going into that same gap that has the previous puff in there. And then the next puff has gone into the gap that has nothing in there. So we're basically doing the puff 3 times, but just connecting it all together. So here's 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to keep doing this all the way down. Once we make it to the end, we're going to have to do another turning puff. I cannot say this. A turning puff once we make it to the end so that we can work our way up to the next row. But go ahead and do that. I'll meet you guys back when we are done with this row. We have made it all the way to the end and we are about to do our last puff stitch, and I just wanted to show you guys how to do that even though it's the same. What we're going to do is yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, and then we're going to do 2 more. So prepare, insert into the next available loop, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up, and then this last one is the main reason why I wanted to come, is we're going to go into that first chain that we went into. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but it's there, trust me. It's this loop right here. So we're going to prepare, insert into that loop, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert into that same loop, yarn over, pull through, and let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yarn over, insert your finger in through that loop, yarn over, pull through everything on the hook, and then insert your hook, pull through 1, pull through 2. And then this is our first official row of our star stitch pattern. And now we're ready to work our way up to the next row. So we're going to do our turning puff. It's basically the same thing as this bigger puff that we've been doing, but we're just doing 1. So we're going to yank up, flip our work, prepare for a double crochet, insert into this loop that we left for ourselves right here, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank up. And then from here, we're not going to go in with the rest. We're just going to prepare for a double crochet, insert our finger, pull through everything on the hook, insert our hook into that loop that our finger is through. And then from here, we're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is our turning puff. And now we can start doing the rest. And this is what we have now that we have our turning puff. And we're just going to do a couple more of these star stitches together just for some good measure, and also just to show you guys how to do it a couple more times. But once we have our single turning puff, we're going to yank up, prepare, insert into that single crochet loop, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And then from here, it's going to be the same exact thing. So we're going to go into this loop, even though our turning puff is in there. We're going to prepare, insert, yarn over, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And then we're going to do this one more time. Prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up, prepare, insert, yarn over, yank up. And let's count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Prepare for a double crochet, insert your finger, yarn over, pull through everything that's on the hook, insert your hook into that loop that your finger's in. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And then let's do this one more time. We're going to yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up, prepare into that next loop, insert, pull through, yank up, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up, and then into this next gap, prepare, insert, pull through, yank up. One more time, prepare, insert, pull through. And then from here, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Prepare for a double crochet. Slide your finger in between your work. Yarn over, pull through everything on the hook. Insert your hook into that loop. Yarn over, pull through 1, pull through 2. And then that is our star stitch. So go ahead and basically just make the length of the top that you guys want. You guys can make this a full top, or you guys can make it a crop top, whatever you guys want. And I will meet you guys back when we have the main portion of this all finished up. But keep in mind, we will be having a bottom border as well. I now have the block of star stitch pattern that I want for the length of my top. And just to let you guys know, from this top row all the way down to the bottom, I have a total of 9 inches or 23 centimeters. And now we're going to start working on the side panels, which is going to be fairly easy. It's just going to be rows of single crochet. So this is where we're at. This is the last row that we just did. We just went straight across this way. So what we're going to do from here is chain up 1, and then we're going to turn our work, and then we're going to be going into the sides. So obviously this side is the side that we just ended on. This side's a lot prettier, but we're going to be going into this side with just 1 single crochet into each of these loops that we have. And it's going to be kind of hard, so we'll do the first few together. So basically into the first puff stitch that we have, which is this first loop, we're just going to insert our hook. And it's going to be a lot because remember, we did 2 yarn overs when we did the puff stitch. Try to just get 2 sections of yarn just like this, and then we're just going to single crochet. And it doesn't need to be any specific 2 strands of yarn. It just needs to be 2 just to make sure that it's secure. And then once we get here, this is the middle of our star stitch. So we're just going to put 1 in there, and then we're at another puff stitch. So just grab 2 strands of yarn, single crochet. We're back into the middle of our star stitch, 1 in the middle. And then some of these may be a little bit wonky, like this one. This star stitch is super small, or this puff stitch is super small in the star stitch in this row. That's fine. Just go into there like normal. Just make sure that you keep an eye out and don't put too many in one section, otherwise it'll bunch up. And you're also going to want to make sure that you have the same amount of single crochets on both sides, so don't put too many in one. But we're going to keep doing this all the way down just for this first row of single crochet. And then for the next row, it's going to be more single crochets, but we're going to stop a little bit before we get all the way to the other end, because that's going to be where the side panel reaches around us. So go ahead and go in with single crochet, and then I'll meet you guys back once we're done with our first row. We've made it all the way down to the end with our row of single crochet, and as you guys can see, I have put in a stitch marker. And right before we get started on this second loop, I'm going to tell you guys what the stitch marker is for. We're just going to put this up to ourselves and see where we want our armholes to be. And then from here, from the bottom of where our hook is down to the stitch marker, is going to be the solid single crochet portion that wraps around so that you can eventually add some corset back ties. So this is basically just the side slash back panel. So just to let you guys know, I went ahead and measured from this corner all the way down to where I needed my armhole to be, and I have a measurement of 2 inches or 5 centimeters. But once we have that, just for this next row, we're going to be doing back loop single crochets. So we'll do that together. So starting up our next row of back loop single crochets, what we're going to do from here is chain up 1, flip our work, and it's fairly easy, just like a regular single crochet, but we're going into the back loops. So there's 2 loops that we usually go into, but for this one, it's just going to be for this back loop. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Regular single crochet, but we're going into this back loop. Let's do that again, like that, and then one more time into that back loop, single crochet, and then we're going to keep doing this all the way down until we get to our stitch marker. And then once we get to the stitch marker, we're going to do more rows of single crochet so that we can start to make the side slash back panel. Well, I'll show you guys how to do that when we get there. We've made our way all the way down with our row of back loop single crochets. As you can see, this is our ridging that we just did for ourselves. And now we're ready to start finishing off this side slash back panel. All we're going to do is chain up 1, flip our work, and then insert 1 single crochet into every loop going all the way down. Once we reach the end, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and continue putting 1 single crochet into every loop. And then we're going to keep doing this until this reaches mid back, but minus 3 inches or 8 centimeters. And mine is going to come out to 3.5 inches or 9 centimeters. And then once when I have that, I'm going to go in with my chain that goes up and over my shoulder. And I'll meet you guys back once I have all of that done. We have one of our side panels all finished up. It's just a bunch of rows of single crochet. And then from there, I also put this up to myself and then measured the corner. And then I took my tape measure, went up and over my shoulder, and then measured down to this corner that we just made for our side panel. And I measured that, and that is a total of 14.5 inches or 37 centimeters. And I just made a regular chain. I attached it with a slip stitch, made a regular chain, and then attached it with a slip stitch down here, and I cut and tied, and then this side is finished for now. So as of right now, we're going to do the same thing that we did here on this side, but I have one really quick tip for you guys when it comes to doing the back loop single crochet row. Taking a look at the other side of our side panel, this one's already finished. Taking a look at the other side, we have went in with our first row of single crochet that just goes all the way down, and that is regular. And then we do have to do 1 row of back loop single crochets, but this side is going to be different than the other side, because remember how we did the other side, it was back loop single crochets. This one is going to be front loop single crochets, but only so that we get the ridging on the same side so that we can attach our detail in later. So once we get here, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and then what we're going to do from here is front loop single crochets, which is the same thing as back loops, but in the front loops. So into this first loop that we have, we're going to insert our hook in through this front loop and then do a single crochet. And then we're going to do those all the way until we get to our stitch marker. And then we should have the same length that we have on this side, and our ribbing would be on the same side. So here's our ribbing over here. Taking a look, here's the ribbing that we have over here, all the same. And then we're going to go in with the same amount of rows of single crochet that we have on this side, cut and tie, and then also add in that strap that I just mentioned to you guys, the one that goes up and over your shoulder. And then I'll meet you guys back when we have all of that done. Now that we have both of our side panels done, now we can start working on the bottom border, and that's going to be fairly simple. The first row that we have to do is just do a row of single crochet that goes all the way across, and we'll do that together right now. So to get started on the bottom border, we're going to insert our hook into this corner, insert our yarn onto our hook, and we're going to pull through. Then we're going to chain up 1 to secure. And then from here, like I said, we're just going to go across with a row of single crochet. So into this side panel, these are going to be all a bunch of side single crochets. So you're just going to find a loop, any loop. It doesn't have a specific loop for us to go into. And we're just going to go in with a row of single crochets. And we're going to stick together for a minute because I'm going to show you guys how to do your single crochets once we get to the bottom of the body portion. But be sure not to put too many single crochets into one area, otherwise it'll bunch up. Basically the same thing that we said when we were doing our side portion right here. Okay, last loop. And then when we get here, these are going to be a bunch of side puff stitches, and it's basically going to be the same thing that we did along the side when we were doing our side portion. So once we get here, insert our hook into that first gap with just 1 single crochet, and then you guys are going to be able to tell where our middle of the stars are supposed to be. 1 single crochet goes into that loop, and then we have a puff, making sure that we have 2 strands on our hook, single crochet. This is the middle of a star, so we're going to put 1 single crochet into the next puff stitch that we have, single crochet, and then we're going to keep doing this all the way across, but don't cut and tie because we have a little bit more to do for our bottom border. We've just made it all the way across with our first row of single crochet for our bottom border, and now we're going to do some double crochets, back loop double crochets, so that we get some ribbing along the bottom. So you're going to want to put this up to yourself and figure out how thick you want the bottom band to be. Mine is going to be 2 inches or about 5 centimeters. And so from there, we're just going to make a chain that equals out to whatever length you guys want. And now that I have my chain, I'm going to block off that last chain with my thumb. We are going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to prepare for a double crochet. Insert our hook into that loop that we blocked off, or the 4th loop from the hook, with a double crochet. And we're going to be going in, putting 1 double crochet into every loop going back down our chain. And then once we make it to the base, we're going to be slip stitching it, and then we'll be going from there. So I'll meet you guys back when we don't have any more loops left in our chain. We've gone in with our first row of double crochet going back down our chain, and then now we're going to attach it to the base. And the way that I did mine, my double crochet always ends up facing outwards, so all I'm going to do is flip my work, and then we are going to attach it. So when we flipped our work, we're going to attach it into the base, into the 2nd loop. So not into the loop that we're currently in. We're going to skip this first loop. We're going to count out 1, 2, insert your hook into that 2nd with a slip stitch, and all a slip stitch is inserting our hook, yarn over, and we're going to pull through everything on the hook. So we're going to pull through that loop and then also that loop. And then we're going to do slip stitches up the next 2 loops so that we can work our way up to the next row. Let's do that together. We're going to insert our hook into the next available loop, yarn over, pull through everything, and we're going to do that one more time. Insert, yarn over, pull through everything. And once we have that, we're going to flip our work, and then we're going to go into the row of back loop double crochets. So all the same, just going into the back loops, kind of like how we did with the side panel. We're going to prepare for a double crochet. Take a look at the 2 loops that we usually go into. We're going to go into this back loop with a double crochet. We're going to do this again together. Prepare for a double crochet, insert your hook into that back loop, and then double crochet like normal. And then we're going to keep doing this all the way down. Once we make it to the end, we're going to chain up 3 and then work our way back with more back loop double crochets, and then we're going to connect it into the base one more time just so I can show you how to do it. We've done back loop double crochets all the way back down, and we are at the base, and now we're going to attach it together one more time. So we're going to take a look at the base, and then we're going to count up 2 loops, not the loop that we're in, but we're going to count up 1, 2, insert your hook into that 2nd loop with a slip stitch. So all we're going to do is yarn over, pull through everything, and then we're going to do that 2 more times. So insert into the next loop, insert into the next loop, pull through everything, and then up one more, yarn over, pull through everything, flip our work, and then continue doing back loop double crochets all the way down. When we get to the end, chain up 3, work our way back, connect it to the base, and really quickly connecting into the base is counting up 2 loops, slip stitching into that second, and then to work our way up to the row after that, slip stitch up the next 2 loops, and then go back down with back loop double crochets, and then keep doing this until we make our way all the way across, and then go ahead and cut and tie, and then I'll meet you guys back. This is what we should have once when our bottom border is all finished. These were all just back loop double crochets, and we slip stitched them into the base all the way across. Once we made it to the end, we cut and tied, and I cut and tied because I ended in this corner, so in between the back panel and the bottom border. But if you guys ended at the bottom, then you guys don't have to cut and tie. But now we're going to start working on the back loops so that we can start weaving in our corset back ties so that we can finish up the rest of this guy. Now that we're ready to start inserting our loops for our corset back tie, what we're first going to do is lay our work down flat. I have turned mine to the side. As you guys can see, this is my back panel and then also our bottom border. And I laid it down making sure that the ribbing that we did when we first did our back loop single crochets when we first started our side panel is facing up towards us. And we're doing it this way so that when we add in our detail along the shoulder, this is where we're going to be working into. So obviously we're going to be to have the same ribbing along this border that we have right here. So on this end, this is going to be back loop double crochets because that's how we're going to be doing our back loops. Yeah, that's how we're going to be doing our loops. So this is going to have to be going into the back loop so that they have a border along this side that matches this side as well. So really quickly, into this corner, we're going to insert our hook into this back loop corner. We're going to insert our yarn onto our hook, pull through, and we're going to start off by doing a chain up of 5. 1, 2, 3. The first 3 count as a double crochet, and then another 2, so 3, 4, 5. And then now we have our chain up of 5. We're going to prepare for a double crochet. We're going to skip 1, skip 2, insert our hook into that third, but making sure that we're going into that back loop. And if I can get it, there we go. And we're just going to put a double crochet in there. And then that is our net. We're going to do this one more time. Chain out 2, prepare for a double crochet, count out 3, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook into that back loop with a double crochet. And then we're going to keep doing this all the way down until we get to the end of our side panel, and then we're going to go back with a row of single crochet just so that we can clean everything up. We've just made our way across with our row of net, and this is going to be for our corset back ties that we're going to have. And just to show you guys again, along the top side over here we have our ridging, and then we have the same thing over here. You might not be able to see it as well, but we do have it right here. Into all these front loops is where we're going to do our shoulder design. But now that we have that, and I'm done showing you, we're going to chain up 1 and then go in with a row of single crochet like I said. So all we're going to do is put 1 single crochet into every loop that we have going all the way down. Once we get to the end, we're going to cut and tie, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did here on the other side, remembering to make sure that we have ribbing along the front on both sides for our back detail, and then I will meet you guys back. Just to show you guys, we are all finished up doing our back loops, side loops on both sides with a row of single crochet along the outside, and I have done my ruffles on one side, and now we're going to do the other side together, but just to let you guys know, they're going to be exactly the same on both sides. So let's get started on this side together. To get started on the ruffles, our first row that we're going to be doing is just a regular row of single crochets, and I'm just going to show you guys where to insert your hook. So this is going to be up to you. You guys can either have your ruffles start where the body portion is, not where the border is, which is actually where I have mine started. So mine starts here and it goes around and then it ends here as well. Or if you guys want, you guys can have it go all the way down the border as well. It should all be the same, but since we did the back loop double crochets for the bottom border, we should have loops to go into. And then you guys, if it's possible, you guys should be able to just work your way straight up on through the body portion. But I don't want mine to quite look like that. So I'm going to get started on working through this area. So to get started, we're first going to take a look at the ribbing that we have along the body portion. We are going to be working into those, but for the first stitch that we're going to do, we're actually going to be going into the single crochet row that we did right in between the body portion and the bottom border. And this is just to make it a little bit more clean. So there should be a loop. It doesn't have to be an exact one, but there should be a loop somewhere near this ribbing. We're going to insert our hook, and then we're going to slide our yarn onto our hook. We're going to pull through, chain up 1 to secure. And then from here, now we can go into our ribbing row with single crochet. So this is super simple. Just insert your hook into that first loop and then single crochet. And we're just going to put 1 single crochet into every one of these loops, and that's going to lead us all the way to this area. We're going to continue working into these loops and then onto the chain, and then we're going to go all the way around the chain, and then the chain should lead to the very last row that we have for this back portion. And then these are all more available loops because we only worked into the back loops over here as well. And then go ahead and end wherever you guys want to end it. Either end it here where the body ends, or at the bottom wherever you guys are making your ruffles go until. But I'm just going to keep going with single crochet all the way down until I make it down to this last body loop that we have, and I'll meet you guys back. We are not done with our row of single crochets yet. I just wanted to talk to you guys about once we get to this body portion, right before we get to the chain. I don't know why I'm pointing here. Right before we get to the chain. But as you guys can see, I went in with my row of single crochet all the way down. And then right here, we don't have our back panel. Yeah, we don't have our back panel right here anymore. This is our first loop. And then just into these loops, we're going to be going into the front loops just so that it matches the rest of the single crochet row that we just finished up, and also so that the ruffles have a better chance of facing forward instead of it just laying flat against your body. So really quickly, into this first loop, that is the next loop right after we have done our single crochet into the back panel, is just into this front loop, single crochet. And we're going to keep doing this all the way down, and then when we get to the chain, that one's going to be regular. Just put 1 single crochet into the chain and then work your way back down like I said in the previous clip, and then I will meet you guys back. We have just made our way all the way around with our row of single crochet that went around this part, around the chain, and then also around to the front. And now we're going to start working on the ruffle portion. This part is super duper easy. So now that we're here, what we're going to do is chain up 3, that counts as a double crochet, flip our work, and then from here we're going to do an increase. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet and then put 1 double crochet into that same loop that we are in. We're just putting 1 double crochet, and then we should have 2 double crochet in the same loop. Once we have that, we're going to chain out 1, prepare for a double crochet. We're going to skip the next loop, go into the loop after that with another increase. So we're just going to go in with 2 double crochet. Let's do this a couple more times together. Chain 1, prepare, skip 1 loop, go into the loop after that with 1 and 2 double crochet. So we have 3 of them done, and this is what our work is looking like, and this is our increase. This is going to help our ruffle, and we're going to keep doing this all the way around until we don't have any more single crochets to go into. Don't mind these guys, these will be woven in later. But once we have that done, we're going to go in with another increase row, but I'll show you guys how to do that once we reach the end. First row of ruffles, check, and now we're going to start going in with our next few rows that we have. So the next few rows are going to be more rows of increase. So it's going to be still simple. We're going to do a chain up of 3. This counts as a double crochet. Then we're going to chain up 1 extra, so we're going to have 4 in total. We are going to flip our work, and then our increase for this row is going to be doing a set of 3 double crochets into this gap. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to go into this first gap, putting 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, and that is our increase. And then once we have that, we are going to chain out 1, prepare for a double crochet, and then into this next gap put in another set of 3 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, and 3. And then that's basically going to be it for this row. Go ahead and chain out 1 and put put 1 set of 3 double crochets into each of these gaps that we made for ourselves, going all the way back around. And then I will show you guys how to end this row, because we're going to end on just 1 double crochet, and then I'll show you guys how to do the next row once we reach the end. We are nearly finished up with our second row of ruffles, and like I said, I'm just going to show you guys how to end this row and how to start up the next row. So all this is, we just have 1 more set of 2 double crochet left. So like I said, we're going to have 1 double crochet at the very end. So all we're going to do is chain out 1, prepare for a double crochet, and then this first double crochet I should say, is actually just a chain up of 3. So we're going to count up our chain, 1, 2, and 3. And then once when we count out that third one, we're going to insert our hook into that loop with just 1 double crochet. And that's how we maintain that little gap that we have. And this next row is going to be exactly the same as the previous row. So what we're going to do is chain up 3, flip our work, and then there's a gap right next to where we're at. So we're going to go into this gap with a set of 3 double crochet. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and then once we have that, we're going to do a chain out of 1, and then into this next gap another set of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And then this is actually going to be my last row of ruffles. You guys can keep going to get whatever length you guys want for your ruffles. It would be really pretty if you guys just kept going and made this really big too, but this is just what I want to do. So I'm going to do this row of just 3 double crochets into each gap with a chain 1 in between all the way around, but I'm not going to cut and tie, because this next part I'm going to attach it to the body portion. That is optional, but we'll talk about that once when we get there. So go ahead and go all the way around with this row, and I'll meet you guys back. We just made our way all the way around with our, what is this, third row of increase, and you guys can obviously keep going if you guys want, but I will be ending this right here, and then I will be actually attaching the ruffles to the body portion, but this part is optional depending on what look you guys are going for. But I personally don't like this flip-flapping in the wind, so all I'm gonna do is just attach it to the body portion. And then also I am lucky enough to where they can kind of overlap each other because of the size that I have for the side panel. So all I'm gonna do is insert my hook in through the corner of this other side that we have. Let's do that. Insert. And then from here, there is no number count. All we're going to do is just eyeball, see where the middle portion of this is. And then all I'm going to do is find a loop, and then I'm going to slip stitch it. So all I'm going to do is yarn over, pull through everything on the hook, chain up 1 to secure. And then if your ruffles are too long to where they can't connect or overlap, that's fine. Go ahead and just do one side, but do the same thing. We're going to find wherever this first ruffle lays comfortably, and then we're going to slip stitch it into a loop, and then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So insert your hook into this corner, and then find another loop on this side to where it's comfortable to lay down, and then slip stitch it into a loop over here as well. That also works. And so now that I have this, I'm going to cut and tie, and then I'll meet you guys back really quick. This is what we have now that we have done our ruffles on one side, and go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, but mine is obviously all finished, so I'm basically done with this top. The only thing that we need to do once we're done with both of our ruffles on the side is make a chain that can weave in and out of all of our loops. And the chain that I have is 59 inches or 150 centimeters. And then once when we have that all finished, the last thing that we have to do is just weave in all of our ends. You guys have inspired me to learn new stitches to elevate my crochet game, and we are getting there. Once when you get the hang of the star stitch, it's honestly so much fun, and I can't wait to make everything with the star stitch now. Let me know if you have any ideas on what you'd like to see with this stitch, or drop your favorite stitch down below and I'll check it out. But if you like learning and new stitches, give this video a thumbs up. It's right beneath the video. It lets YouTube and I know you're enjoying the videos, and it goes a really long way with helping the channel grow and gain some traction. But if you didn't like it, give this video a thumbs down, but be sure to leave me a comment letting me know why you didn't like it. Or if you have any questions, requests, or if y'all just want to say what's up, I usually reply pretty quick. If you love it, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, it's right beneath the video. It'll let you know when there's a new video uploaded to the channel, get you a bit more priority when it comes to requests, and it goes a really long way with helping the channel grow so we can keep making all these great videos for you guys. If you're already subscribed, huge thanks to you guys, but please hit that notification bell to know when there's a new upload for you right away. And please share with your crafty friends, or any friends. Every bit helps. Links to the yarn and the hooks will be in the description. If you buy something using those links, that also goes towards helping out the channel. And lastly, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest links are down there as well. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.